What's going on YouTube? Again, we're on the Rep Fitness review series that we're doing right now, and this is the Rep Fitness GHD. So stay tuned, tell you about what I like about it, how it compares to the reverse hyper, and should you buy one. Okay, so we're talking about the Rep Fitness GHD machine. So I'll stop you right there because you're probably saying you've got the front pegs on the wrong way. And you're right, I do. I have them reversed. If you look at the way Rep tells you to put them on, these bands here go forward. I found that one, it was kind of unnecessary to have them on the forward side. I didn't feel there was any difference. And two, if you put them to the back side like that, there's no tripping hazard. You're not tripping over them. You know, they kind of stick out and you don't really notice them when you're walking around the gym. And you know, if you're klutzy like me, you're just knocking into stuff. Those are a bad tripping hazard, especially where we have our set up. So I just flip that around. I just want to, you know, so people watching the video are not going, oh, you put that together wrong. It's like, no, I did that on purpose. So anyway, I posted this on Instagram and a few people caught that. I was actually surprised. But you know, you guys are smart. You can spot stuff. And you know, I do appreciate that type of feedback too. So it's good. If you see something that I'm not doing right, definitely let me know. GHD. So we have a reverse hyper in the gym. I'm going to talk about it in the next video that I'm working on. I'm kind of plugging away through these videos here, and we have a reverse hyper. A lot of people say you don't need a GHD. Why do you have both? But for me, I really wanted to get a GHD and have the reverse hyper. I believe the reverse hyper has its niche that it does really well, but I can tell you, in comparing the two and using both of them now for the last little while, this works your muscles in a completely different way. When you're doing back extensions off this, or you're working core movement, it's a completely different movement in the way that it works. So for me, having both is great. I really like having both. My wife and I use both the machines, and it really helps strengthen your core and mobility, and also stretch. I'm not going to get into the actual workouts and all that. There's plenty of good YouTube videos out there. I'm just going to talk about and focus on the machine, and you know, tell you whether or not you should buy it. You should buy it, or you like it, or what we don't like about it, or what we do like about it. So when I was looking at buying a GHD, I compared all the major brands, you know, looked at the prices, looked at the value, what did they offer, and Rep really had a good value. it was hard to beat. I looked at, I mean, I even considered the Titan stuff, Reps, you know, who else was out there? There was a bunch that weren't in stock. Rogue had all their variations in stock. And I looked at the Rogue stuff. It was quite a bit more expensive. And one thing I didn't like about the Rogue GHDs, and it's not a knock against their design. It's just, it doesn't fit well for our gym. And Rogue's GHDs were quite a bit bigger. When I did the measurements and looked at their dimensions, they were huge. They were like, you know, 10, 12 inches bigger in all directions, and just took up a huge footprint in the garage gym. So Reps was one of the smallest footprints of all the GHDs I looked at. Now, that was also a concern. And when I was looking at some YouTube reviews, I found a few good reviews out there on this machine, and nobody said it was a concern in terms of the size or stability. So thankfully, I watched the reviews, yeah, and they were right. I'm 220 pounds. I'm not huge, but for stability wise, this thing's super solid. It works great for me. I don't see any issues with that end of things. If you're concerned about stability, no, there's nothing to worry about on this. Are the bigger Rogue models probably better in terms of commercial use, yeah, for sure. This is not something you're probably going to want to use in a commercial gym or maybe a CrossFit gym. You might want to spend $300-400 more and get a Rogue. I get that. But for us in this gym environment, in our garage gym, this works great. You know, and like I said, it was around $400 or $500 in there. Again, pricing changes. I don't try to memorize it anymore. I've quoted prices in past videos, and then prices went up $500, and people will end up messaging me and asking me what's going on. So I try not to bring pricing into the videos. But let's talk about some of the features, some of the things I like about it, some of the things that I don't like about it. The handles, not all of them had handles. I really like the handles. When you're getting on and off the machine, the handles make a huge difference. Yes, big plus for there. That was something I really liked. The assembly of it was really simple. It's mostly just, you know, nuts and bolts. It all bolts together. I think I'd like to see a machine that has less, you know, nuts and bolts and more welded steel, you know, but again, for the price, I get that it's how they can save some money on shipping. So yeah, you're going to have to do a little more assembly for sure. But at the end of the day, once you tighten everything up, it's super solid. These pads are really nice. They have a split down the middle that helps the boys, you know, you not get crushed in there. So that's a nice feature, having that thing there, the gap in the middle. The pads themselves are they're pretty hard. I'm probably going to say that that's something that could be better, but again, for the price, it's hard to complain. One thing about the pads is the covering is that awesome material that Rep uses on all their benches, and I love the material, but I found that it wasn't installed as tight as it could have been. It's a little loose. It's a little loose fitting. It's not. You can kind of see the waves in there and stuff. I'm not going to say it's the best quality on that, but it works great. This is a great material too. I love that material. So yeah, padding is a little bit stiff, but maybe it'll break in as I use it more. But I love the material on it. Now coming back here to this side, Rep put a bit of a slant on your footrest here. Rep, if you're listening, I think I would like to see that almost flat or neutral. I find with that, maybe it's my ankle mobility, but you're kind of putting a little bit of pressure on your ankles sometimes, doing some movements with it. I think flat would work better. That's just, you know, my opinion, not for everybody, but Rep, if you're listening, you know, that might be something to think about. I really like the handle on this side here for moving it. Works really well, and for also getting on and off. The foot pads they're super stiff. They work really well. These have a nice angle, and not all the GHDs I looked at have an angled on the lower padding. That just helps you slide your feet in and out a little bit easier, and that's a nice feature. I like that a lot. This foot pad here, the little platform that it comes with, that is another huge plus. They all don't have that. Thank you, Rep, for putting that in. We use that all the time for getting on and off it. I don't know how people do it without that, but that's a really nice feature. So if you're looking for a GHD, even if it's not a Rep model or, you know, brand, look for something that has that platform. It's nice to have. So how do you adjust the machine? Okay, so Rep uses a dual piston style horizontal adjustment. So on the horizontal plane, and it's got a pull-out pin here, and then it also has a tensioner here. So you just pull this out, move it, snap it in place. You don't have to tension it. See, there's your play without it tensioned, and then if you want to take that play out, you just go ahead, tighten that, and now it's solid. Now the up and down is going to be the same thing. There's a tensioner on this back side. You can't see it, but I'll probably show a picture. And then you just adjust this, drop it down. And again, here's the play without the tensioner. And go ahead and tension that up. And it's rock solid again. I really like how Rep did the design on the adjustment. It just works really well. It's really solid. There's not a lot of play in it. I think some of the other competitors, you won't see that tensioner adjustment because it's not necessarily something you need to have, but it is nice to have. And I think maybe over time, if you had a bunch of people working out adjusting all the time, you might not use that, but I like it, and it's a nice feature that they threw it in there. The range of adjustment is huge, and if you look at you can go all the way from there all the way forward to there. That's going to incorporate a ton of different sized people and a ton of different exercises. It's super smooth. Those dual pistons work really, really well. Yeah, I'm impressed with that for sure. Again, for the price, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, and it worked out really well. Now, if you need to move this, it's really easy. Right here, here, and then you can just roll it wherever you want to. So, yeah, we've been using this thing in the gym. We really like it. I'm really happy that we bought it. It's really helping with core work, and it's just, again, for the price, I came out happier, and my expectations were a bit lower for the $400 range. I think it's high fours. I wasn't sure what to expect, but turned out really nice. Great job from Rep. I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about buying one, you can't go wrong with this at all. And I suspect this will go up in price in the near future, almost for sure. I mean, it's free shipping at that high 400 range. So, for under $500, you're getting a GHD machine that works awesome for, and shipped. So, yeah, I suspect that'll go up. So if you're looking for a GHD, yeah, 100%, we're happy with this one. No complaints other than, the padding that I talked about. Other than that, it works great. So if you want to check it out, click on the link. I'll put a link in the description box to Rep's website. Check it out. That'll help us out as an affiliate. And again, all the equipment that we review, we paid for. We've had it for a while. We've used it. We're not getting anything for free here, and just trying to give you some honest feedback so you can make some good decisions. So, right on. Thanks for watching. Again, check out our Instagram page, and have a good day.